Hello, good morning. My name is Maria. I am the education manager here at DermaQuest, and today I missed the beginning there. Today we're going to be going over how is it not going back? There we go, the Join the Quest class. And this is just going to show you a great overview of everything we have to offer here at DermaQuest, so that you have the ability to kind of see, what's happening, um, as an overall visual or an overall view of what it is that we offer as far as home care and um, back bar as well. We have been around for over 25 years, 26 years now. Sorry, I keep saying 25. Our lab is FDA approved. We just became TGA approved, which means we can now sell our SPFs in Australia. They carry the rest of our brand, but because of the regulations, very strict regulations with their sunscreens, we had to do some additional testing to be able to sell our sunscreens there. So we're now able to do that as well. We're very excited and proud of ourselves. Our mission is to empower skincare professionals through education designed to optimize skin health, deliver transformative results, and build enduring client trust and loyalty. Core values: education first, dermatologist tested, cruelty free, BPA free, and paraben free as well. Our pardon me, our business support offers account support. So obviously every account that we have has its own account manager or account representative, really to help you ensure that you have what you need as far as support goes. We also have our educational guidance. So it's not just here in class. We also have recordings of not just the classes, but also demos that we've done. And then you have access to all of the slide presentations that you see on the screen whenever I am teaching as well. We have marketing and promotional tools, as well as our customer care and fulfillment support. We are a very small but very mighty team. We really love to be able to help in any way that we can. So please reach out whenever you need to. Let's talk about the skin health overview. So the skin health system is really here to help understand all of our products. I think altogether we have just over 88 or around 88 products. And so we wanted a way to be able to give that to you in a bite size so that it would make sense. You can categorize everything easily. You knew what to look for when somebody's coming to you and saying, hey, I'm having some, my goal is to really work on my hyperpigmentation. This way we give you what to look for when you're having that guest come in to you. So step one is always going to be that skin barrier. We want to make sure that we're keeping that as healthy as possible, or we're getting it to as healthy as possible so that they come in and get the treatments that they really need or want. Our targeted solutions, we have 4 of them, and they range from clear skin health to antioxidant health, melanin health, collagen skin health. And this is based on their goals. What are they looking to see in their skin when they're done, not just with treatment, but then also the transformation that happens at home? Boost Skin Health is really one of my favorites. This is where we get to enhance the efficacy of everything that they're using at home, as well as what's happening in the treatment room. And then obviously, when we talk about Protect Skin Health, we're talking about protecting that skin from all UVA, UVB, and then in our case, all infrared and blue light as well. Now, our professional treatments start the quest for healthier skin. However, our home care routine is what is going to complete it. That transformation happens at home. There's no other way to put that. So yes, 20% of the skincare journey is activated in that treatment room. They go to their clinic, they get their treatment done. That's 20% of your entire skin health journey. 80% is what happens at home. And if we think about it, they're coming to us every 4 to 6 weeks. That means they're going to see us, 12 times a year, roughly. We're hoping. Pardon me. And that means 353 days out of the year, they are at home. And that's when that transformation is really happening, is at 80%. is happening at home on their own. So we want to make sure that we understand what they're using and that we're giving them products that will really impact that transformation and continue the transformation of the treatment that you gave them in the treatment room. Let's talk about our home care products. We're starting off, obviously, with our skin barrier health. Um, Concerns here will be dryness, dullness, skin fatigue, sensitivity, and tightness. Here we have our key selling point of difference. These skin barrier health products, are solutions, are essential to building blocks for healthy skin barrier, infusing hydrating botanicals, antioxidants, and protective actives to restore balance, strengthen resilience, and optimize the skin's ability to repair and renew. These products can be used by any skin type. It does not matter the type or concern. Everyone should be able to utilize these. We just want to make sure that we're utilizing them in the way that makes the most sense for everyone. So here you have up first, universal, and these are our most common, our best sellers, things that we see as products that are going to be highlights or keys. They're all amazing products. We love them all, obviously, but there's going to be some standouts for sure. So universal cleansing oil is going to be your first cleanse always, especially when you are doing a double cleanse. You can use it twice a day. I think once a day is fine. I usually use mine at night. I'm removing all of my makeup, any products I might have on my skin. If I didn't wear makeup, there's always going to be product on. Any dirt, debris, if I went outside, there's going to be, just environmental impact on the surface of the skin. So you want to make sure you're getting a really good removal of all of that. You're going to use that dry hands, dry face, massage it into the skin. You're then going to emulsify it and then remove it and rinse it off from there. The Essential Cleanser is a great daily cleansing gel. It does not have a rich lathering foam, and that's intentional. We don't want to cause additional dryness to the skin. It does have a little bit of papain and bromelain, which is pineapple and papaya enzymes. Those enzymes are there to really help to get rid of the superficial dead skin cells sitting at the surface of the skin. You also have your algae polishing scrub. Now, this is great for your people that love a physical exfoliation. The scrub in here is actually jojoba wax esters. And so because it's a wax, it does actually break down. So you're not going to get any microfissures in the skin. It's going to be very delicate. They will break down and get smaller. They will not disappear completely, but they will break down and get smaller. It is very hard to over exfoliate with that algae polishing scrub. Oh, I must have hit a button somewhere. There we go. The B5 okay. I'm just checking because I wanted to see what was up next. The B5 hydrating serum is going to be your hydrator. We have four. I think we're talking about all four of them. It's going to be your hydrator. So this is going to hydrate and calm and soothe. Your advanced stem cell rebuilding complex is great for those who we know we have an impaired barrier. We know we need to build that back up either before treatment, so their skin is as healthy as it can be before you're giving them the treatment, or post-treatment because we've broken down their barrier and we need to build it back up. That's a great product to do it with. Always pair it with the B5. You're going to get the best results that way. Your niacinamide serum, I always consider niacinamide a powerhouse ingredient. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. It is an anti-inflammatory. It does help to calm and soothe. It also helps with breakout-prone skin, hyperpigmentation, fine lines and wrinkles, sensitivity, inflammation. It's going to help to hydrate and repair that barrier as well. If I'm choosing between the two, because it's a question I get asked often, stem cell rebuilding complex as opposed to niacinamide serum. If I'm choosing between those two, because there are some similarities, I'm going to choose my niacinamide serum for somebody that has oily breakout prone skin. I'm going to use the advanced stem cell rebuilding complex for everyone else. Both of these are going to help build up that barrier, but because the niacinamide serum is so good with sebum regulation, that's where I'm going to pair that there. And then the advanced stem cell rebuilding complex is really going to help with everything else. Still pair niacinamide serum or your advanced stem cell rebuilding complex with any of our B5s. You're going to get, again, simply going to get better hydration results that way. Now, this is our niacinamide serum. This is 3 uses within 24 hours. This woman had a chemical peel, not from one of our clinicians. She went outside of her network. So she went to a different esthetician. They gave her a chemical peel. And obviously she had a little bit of a burn here. She then called her esthetician, was like, what do I do? Her esthetician told her to use the niacinamide serum as much as possible. So she got this on 3 times. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. 3 times in a 24-hour period, which you can see the results of before and after. I mean, those are beautiful results, really bringing down that inflammation, getting rid of some of that redness, helping to calm and soothe that area of the skin. Now we're going to get into our, um, pardon me, targeted solutions. Let me drink some water. So now we're getting into our targeted solutions. And this is where we're going to have an impact on your guest's goal. What are their concerns? What do they want their skin to look like? What are they seeing that they would like to correct or change in the skin? And so this is where you're going to get into this. Here, we're going to see our antioxidant health is up first. Here, we're dealing with environmental stressors, dullness, fatigue, oxidative stress, photo damage, uneven tone, and even some sagging of the skin. So oxidative health, um, free radical damage can look a lot like hyperpigmentation and aging of the skin. I should say not anti, sorry, aging of the skin. Typically, if it's aging, it's what we would call premature aging. So someone is, let's say, 25, but their skin is telling you it's 35. And then hyperpigmentation, that's UV damage. So the UV is going to cause not just the aging in that it does break down collagen, it breaks down elastin, but it also causes that hyperpigmentation in the skin. So here is our antioxidant health collection. And the one thing I like to make sure I mention is when we're talking about vitamin C and what it does in the skin, it helps with collagen production. It helps to strengthen the collagen. It helps to brighten up the skin. It also feeds your skin antioxidants, helping to fight off those free radicals, which will also break down collagen and elastin in the skin as well. It'll also impair the barrier, giving more sensitive skin. It also usually makes the skin more dry, dull. And so there's a lot of benefits to having those antioxidants in the skin. When we're talking about that vitamin C specifically, there's 2 forms of vitamin C. You have water soluble and oil soluble. Water soluble is ascorbic acid. And ascorbic acid, an amazing ingredient, really effective on the skin, not always the most shelf stable. You want to make sure that that's getting used as quickly as possible. So make sure they're using it twice a day or once a day. Make sure they're using it consistently. With the THD ascorbate, which is the oil soluble version, yes, it is shelf stable. It can last a while. It's also not usually quite as effective. So with we're in the best world, what you're doing is you're combining the two. And so you're getting that ascorbic acid and the THD ascorbate to give you that vitamin C saturation effect. Not only are you getting 2 kinds of vitamin C that are stable and healthy for the skin, but then you're also getting more penetration throughout all layers of the skin because you're using both the water and oil soluble versions. So here, highlight ingredients, you have your C infusion cleanser. Now this is going to give you that rich lathering foam. I'm obviously a huge fan, and it smells amazing. So in treatment room, most people really love this one because they love the aroma of it, which is great, but we want to make sure it's also very effective. You then have your advanced B5 with ferulic acid. This B5 is going to give obviously hydration, but then also it's going to give you those antioxidants. It is 2% hyaluronic acid powder as opposed to the 50% hyaluronic acid solution that's in the other B5 we just looked at, the B5 hydrating serum. And the difference there is that the B5 with hyaluronic acid powder is a more pure form of hyaluronic acid getting into the skin. There's 3 molecular weights. You are getting technologically a better hydration with this product. It does take a touch longer to absorb into the skin, and it's literally just a couple seconds longer to absorb into the skin. So let it dry and then apply your next products. After that, you have the vitamin C, advanced vitamin C infusion moisturizer. This moisturizer is a great lightweight. Anyone should be able to use this. Moisturizer, it is instantly going to give you a lot of extra moisture and hydration into the skin, which is great. You're also going to get a really beautiful brightness because of that THD ascorbate. And then you also have the Arabidopsis thaliana extract, which is an extract that actually helps to repair UV damaged cells in the skin, which is going to be fantastic. Now, let's talk about the C infusion serums. We have two of them. One of them has ferulic, one of them has phytic. And the difference between the two is the ferulic infusion with C serum is going to be for your dry skin. I remember that because ferulic, it starts with an F, which is close to D for dry. And then phytic is close to an I, which is, sorry, phytic starts with a P. I don't know why I said I, sorry about that. So phytic starts with a P, which is close to an O for oily. I know it's silly, but it's just the easiest way for me to be able to remember it. So that's how I tell everyone to remember them because it's just easier for me. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to move on. Oh, geez, I'm going the wrong direction. There we go. Um, Sorry about that. Getting a little punch happy with my buttons here. So your ferulic infusion with C serum, you have the ascorbic acid. I am a fan of daytime use, especially if you're using other actives, and that's for both of these, by the way, especially if you're using other actives in the skin. So if you're using a retinol or BHA or an AHA in the evening, I usually like to use my C serum during the day, which is what I personally do. This has 15%, the ferulic has 15% ascorbic acid. It also has the vitamin E in there, and that's going to act as a little bit of a buffer to make sure that we're not getting too active of a vitamin C because it can be spicy in the skin. Now, your ferulic infusion, there is no vitamin E, but notice ascorbic acid is in it 8% rather than 15. So you're getting a lower percentage. Now, the phytic acid is going to be, it is an AHA. It's going to be very lightly, very gently exfoliating. It's not like it's going to be exfoliating serum, but it is very gently exfoliating. You also have that ginkgo biloba, and that's going to help calm and revitalize the skin as well. So choose what's best for your guest based on what is their skin type. This is a C infusion moisturizer. 100% of people felt more hydrated, noticed healthier skin, and the skin felt tighter. Look at her forehead. To me, that is like you can see the difference in the hydration just because of the pumping of the lines on her forehead, both on the left and that right side there. Look at her 11, so right between her brow and then even on the nose. And then the brightness you see on the tops of her cheeks and even down the bridge of her nose, which to me is noticeable. I love it. It looks so good. And this is, by the way, the only other products they use were cleanser, moisturizer, SPF. So that's what this was. And she used this twice a day for 8 weeks. Now we're going to get into our melanin health. So now we're talking about hyperpigmentation. What they're going to notice is dark spots, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, deep melasma, uneven tone, and then pigment reoccurrence, because that's something we want to make sure we're talking about. Here we're talking about our main ingredient or our new ingredient to the market, which is going to be cysteamine. That cysteamine complex is recently off of a patent within the last couple of years. We've been able to really go ahead and highlight that with what it's able to do. It is an antioxidant. It's just a really, really potent antioxidant. So yes, it's a tyrosinase inhibitor, but it is also an antioxidant. It is also what we call bioavailable. And the good thing about that means that you already have it in your system. So you have the receptors to be able to utilize this within the skin and see some really gorgeous results. So just so that you guys are aware, that cysteamine complex is very helpful for really getting to target that hyperpigmentation in the skin. Let's talk about the products here. So one of the products we don't talk about, which unfortunate for me, is the cleanser in this. It is very much the same as, or there's a lot of similarities, I should say, not the same, sorry, as the C infusion in that it's got that rich lathering foam. It has a really beautiful aroma. But this cleanser specifically has more tyrosinase inhibitors, so we're really brightening up the skin right from the jump. Now let's talk about the two serums because those are the two heavy hitters in this collection. We have two serums, and sometimes that can be a little confusing to me. It really is dependent on one, what is your client's primary goal? What are we really, really working on here? If their primary goal is hyperpigmentation, then I'm going to give them the cysteamine serum. Also, how reactive are they? If they are very reactive, if they're very sensitive, if they're um, not used to using actives, such potent actives on the skin, I'm going to go with the advanced Miliquist serum. Now let's talk about the two of them a little bit. Your Miliquist cysteamine serum has 4% cysteamine. The studies that were shown show that between 2 and 10% you have the cysteamine is more potent than a 4% hydroquinone, which is prescription strength. So having them use the cysteamine serum really is going to be very potent on the skin. They are going to see differences. You can see differences in as little as 2 weeks. Now, obviously, the longer they use it, the better the results are going to be. And we need those tyrosinase inhibitors for the Fitzpatrick's 4 through 6, especially if they're coming in for those more advanced treatments. So anytime they're getting any kind of physical exfoliation, chemical exfoliation or advanced modalities, we want to make sure they have those tyrosinase inhibitors. This is going to be a product that does that really well. Now, that being said, something I do like to point out is this is also 8% ascorbic acid. If someone wants to use the vitamin C serum, but they have hyperpigmentation, have them choose one or the other if they're choosing between the C serums and then this cysteamine serum. Because the base is the ascorbic acid for both of those products, we don't want them using both. That's a lot of vitamin C, can be a little bit sensitizing for the skin. I have hyperpigmentation, so for me, this is going to be not just my cysteamine serum, my hyperpigmentation serum. It also has my ascorbic acid, so I'm also getting the benefit of um, antioxidant serum in this as well. Now, I do a lot with my skin, so I'm able to use this both day and night, but not everybody can, and I understand that. I do use a lot of other actives in the evening as well, so just as an FYI. So you can acclimate your skin to it, but if you have somebody who's a little more on the sensitive side, I would suggest daytime use initially, especially. Now, if you have that person and their primary concern is aging, secondary is hyperpigmentation, and they're okay with, maybe they're a little sensitized, they're a little reactive, I would have them use the advanced Miliquest serum. It's still an amazing serum. This was our original formulation for this collection before we had the cysteamine serum. There are still 13 different tyrosinase inhibitors in this one product. It is an amazing product. It is great for all skin types and concerns. Most people that have sensitive skin do not have any issues with it. So if they are sensitive, that's usually the way I go. Or if it's not a primary concern, I usually go with that one as well. Here's a before and after of the advanced Miliquest serum, and this was 40 days of use. Now, Collagen Health anti-aging is the #1 selling skincare segment globally. So this is what you're going to see the most of, especially in our clinics. They are going to notice laxity, collagen loss, fine lines, wrinkles, sagging of the skin. This is a breakdown of the collagen, and you can really start to see that when you have one, their skin looks a little deflated, or two, they have a lot of lines and wrinkles. Now, lines and wrinkles at rest or when making an expression will definitely make a difference as far as what treatments we should be doing and then what products we should be sending them home with. Key points of difference, we have over 20 different clinically studied peptides. I believe there are 10 different plant stem cells within just this collection alone to really help boost what we're seeing as far as that transformation and getting our guests to, yes, we're starting something in that treatment room, but we need to continue that at home. And the best way to do that is with the great home care. These products are really going to be a standout for us for that anti-aging or that aged skin. Now, the glyco resurfacing cleanser is honestly one of my favorites. I use this 3 nights a week, and this is nighttime only. It is 15% glycolic acid, 1% lactic acid, nighttime only, 3 nights a week, 3 non-consecutive nights a week. And this is just going to be a nice, gentle exfoliation for at home. When you have your guest coming in for treatments, I don't want to have my product trying to fight through layer upon layer of dead skin cells. So I want them removing some of that at home, but I want them doing it safely. Hence 3 nights a week. We don't want them overdoing it. Now, because this is glycolic acid, it can feel a little tingly, stingly. They might have a little bit of sensation. And that does start to, I think, dissipate the longer we use it. We get more acclimated to it. But I just like to let people know Now, the Advanced Peptide Line Corrector, amazing product. We absolutely love this one. This product has 14 different peptides in here, and they range everywhere from collagen signaling, so collagen boosting, neuropeptides. There's six collagen signaling. There are four neuropeptides, and the rest are going to help with hyperpigmentation, with sig growth factor mimicking, lymphatic drainage. So they're all going to be supporting peptides for this product. I love this product in that it helps with one of two things. Either they can use it before Botox. You'd say that we have a person that's not ready to get Botox yet. This is a great product for them to be able to use. Or if they're already using Botox, let's face it, Botox is not doing anything for the actual skin. This will help the health of the skin. This will also help those Botox results last longer. So you're getting that benefit there as well. We do call it Botox in a bottle, but we're not allowed to say that for marketing. 3D, Advanced 3D Moisturizing Complex. We do have two moisturizers in this collection, and this one, in my opinion, is definitely going to offer the most anti-aging. It's a lighter weight moisturizer. I would say medium, light to medium weight moisturizer. It's not going to be super rich and thick, but it is going to be a great anti-aging with all of the peptides and the plant stem cells that are in here. Here's the Advanced Peptide Line Corrector. You're seeing a 6-week clinical study. There were 100% of people saw improvement in fine lines and wrinkles and in moisture, skin moisture as well. 97, sorry, percent saw improvement in skin elasticity. Look at her forehead, those deep set lines that she had there. And again, this is moisturizer, SPF, cleanser, moisturizer, SPF, and then whichever product they were testing for us. In this case, obviously the Advanced Peptide Line Corrector. And this is 6 weeks. This is insane. Like you can really see the difference. Look at that forehead. Look at her 11s. It really made a big difference and brightening up the skin, I think, in my opinion as well. Now we're going to talk about clear skin health. Here we're talking about people that have breakout prone, acne, oily prone skin. Acne, blemishes, rough texture, oiliness, clogged pores are going to be your concerns here. Point of difference, there's a lot of actives in these products, but we also, I think, have done a great job of making sure, yes, we have a lot of actives, but we also have a lot of barrier support in this collection. We want to make sure that that skin is being protected. Hydrated skin is healthy skin. There's no other way to say that. And healthy skin is a healthy balance of both water hydration and oil moisture. And we need a little bit of both to keep that skin as healthy as possible. Let's talk about our products here. So first up, that DermaClear cleanser. Yes, there's mandelic acid at 1%, gentle enough for most people to be able to use every single day, day and night. You have that pineapple. There's a little bit of retinol palmitate, so not pregnancy safe, something to keep in mind there. But for everybody else, this is going to be a great daily cleanser. You have your Advanced DermaClear Serum. This is the heavy hitter for this specific collection. Here we have glycolic acid, azelaic acid, salicylic acid, and lactic acid. All in here to really help target that breakout prone skin. Now, this is intended to be used at nighttime only, and it's intended to be used every single night. They might need to acclimate their skin to it. It might be, hey, start this off every other evening. This is a very active serum. It really is going to target and pinpoint that breakout prone skin, but it is a very active one. We might need to acclimate them. Now, for something that's a little more gentle, I love the Universal Clarifying Pads. These pads are great, I think, for anyone that has breakout prone skin and maybe a little bit more on the sensitive side. It does not have the glycolic acid, which I think is great because we don't want something we don't want every single step in our skincare routine to have glycolic acid. It can be a little sensitizing on the skin. If you have that person that is a workout junkie, they love working out, they also don't have time to do a full skincare routine after they go to the gym. I love these pads. They are wonderful for that. Have them, rinse their skin off, do a quick wipe, apply their sunscreen, and then they can go on with their day. If there's oil production, if their skin can support it. Now, if they can't, don't go that route. Have them do a rinse, have them put on their SPF. And then we can go on from there. But if their skin can support it and they need that extra boost of actives in the skin, it's lactic acid, mandelic acid at less than 1%, and then salicylic acid as well. And so they're getting some really good actives in the skin without it being too harsh. Also great post waxing or shaving, not day of, but other than that. 6-week clinical study for the DermaClear serum. This was used every single night. I know it says twice a day. That was that was accidentally something I put in there. I will change that. 94% felt their skin was smoother and more hydrated. That is huge, especially when we're talking about breakout prone skin. Experience healthier looking skin with diminished dark spots, so hyperpigmentation is being addressed. You have visibly clearer skin with less redness and inflammation, which is huge. We have to have less inflammation in order for us to really have an effect on that skin. Pardon me. And then Boost Skin Health. Boost Skin Health is something that everyone should be able to use. We want to make sure that the products they are using make the most sense for their skin, that we're having an effect on their skin, and that you can see those results. We need that cellular turnover. We want to make sure that not only are you getting cellular turnover for the most healthy skin, for dermal density, for less hyperpigmentation, lines, wrinkles, breakout prone skin, but also to be able to hold on to more hydration and ensure that we have enough layers in the skin so that when we do our treatments, we're not harming the skin or causing damage. So here we have a blend of 4 different retinoids for 3 of these products. We'll talk about that in a minute. We have a blend of 4 different retinoids, and we do the blend really to make sure that we're able to help all skin types. And regardless of which retinoid is best for which condition, we want to make sure that we have something that really does target everything in regards to what our retinoids can do. Also, they're all microencapsulated with the exception of one. I will talk about that one, but they're all microencapsulated, which means they should give you a nice, gentle delivery. So it is time released. It's also going to be something that's not going to sit on the surface and irritate that skin. So the most gentle that we have first and foremost is going to be the 0.05%. So even your most sensitive should be able to use that. The mini pumpkin mask, there's not retinoid in here. There's no retinoids in here, but there is that pumpkin pulp. And pumpkin is a vitamin, has a natural vitamin A derivative. It does give you a lot of the same benefits. It is an active, spicy mask, and I like to make sure I tell people that so they're not going home and wondering what's going on. It is active. It can feel spicy. Leave it on for about 10 minutes. Now, in the treatment room, if you're using this with steam, it is an exfoliation. If you're using this without steam, it then becomes a true mask. It is an active mask, so keep that in mind. Now, the retinol radiance is a very different situation altogether. It's the only one that is not microencapsulated. It is a retinol at 1%. You also have glycolic acid at 3.5%, and that is the glycolic acid is the delivery system. That's what we're using there. All of the other supporting ingredients for the retinol radiance are for hyperpigmentation. So for me, if I can get someone to use everything in the DermaQuest collection and my retinol radiance, chef's kiss as far as what they're getting for hyperpigmentation. Now, they might need to build up to that because that retinol radiance is no joke. It is active in the skin. It is the only one that's not microencapsulated. We might need to build up their tolerance before they can get there. We want to be progressive and not aggressive with that skin. So here is where we get to be aggressive. So start them off. We have the 0.3, the 0.6, and the 1%. They are literally all the same exact formulation. The only difference is the percentage of the retinol. So they all have allosterase. What that allosterase is going to do in the skin is help to amplify the efficacy of the retinoids without causing any additional irritation in the skin. They all have tranexamic acid. They all have, I believe they all have the summer lilac. What else is in there? That's all I can think of off the top of my head for some reason. But all 3 of these formulations have that. And really all you're choosing between is the strength of the product. So what strength is going to be most appropriate for the guest? It's depending on the guest and their skin. What are you seeing in the skin in the moment? If they've never used a retinoid before, we're starting them off. I usually start them with the 0.3, or if they're a little bit more on the sensitive or reactive side. 0.6 is where I start most people, depending on what's going on with their skin. And then 1% is somebody who's been using retinoids or is ready to move up to that 1%. This is the 1%, 8 weeks. This is every night, every night. 95% across the board agreed that they noticed their skin looked brighter and healthier, was visibly firmer and felt firmer. So visibly looked firmer and it felt actually firmer. And then felt and saw smoother, renewed skin. Look at this woman's skin. I mean, one, she has a much more even complexion. Two, look at just and again, cleanser, moisturizer, SPF, and then retinol. You can see the hydration that she now has in her forehead because she's able to hold on to that because we're building some dermal density. We're brightening up the area on her upper cheeks as well as the bridge of her nose. Look at the hyperpigmentation on particularly the center of the nose and then like down the bridge on the right side of the image. It really did brighten that up quite a bit. Um, her her lines around the eye area look so much softer than they did before. Her nasal labial folds are softer than they were before. And this is without treatment. This is just the product itself. I love that we can see these beautiful results on all of these clinical studies we did. Okay, and then last up for our home care is going to be the Protect Skin Health. This is where we're talking about what our SPF can do for the skin. So obviously it's going to be post-treatment. We want daily protection. It is going to fight not just UVA and UVB, but also infrared and blue light, which is so incredibly important. We don't have enough brands out there that are covering for this, in my humble opinion. Also, every single one of these is physical SPF. So none of them have chemical sunscreens. They're all physical. Let's talk about them. We have our sheer zinc that actually comes in 4 shades. So you have the original, which is clear sheer. And then you have 3 tints. They are nude, sun-kissed, and tan. I really had to think about that. They're nude, sun-kissed, and tan. I use sun-kissed, so just as a reference, I'm a Fitzpatrick 4-ish. I use sun-kissed usually year-round, depending on how dark I get. I might add a little bit of tan during the summer months if I'm actually in the sun, which doesn't happen very often. And then you have the original. This is great post-treatment. There's no moisturizer in here, so I love it for my person that wants one moisturizer but then needs to add sunscreen in the morning or during the day. That's a really good one for them. It has 18.6% zinc oxide, which is really great for wound healing. I love this post-treatment. Your 3D tinted moisturizing broad spectrum SPF, it's a mouthful. This has a universal tint. I think it's good for Fitzpatrick's 2 through 4. Really, it covers that really well. It does have a moisturizer in here, and obviously it has the SPF of 30. It's a great one. Also, a little more rich and emollient. We do have some peptides in here. It's really great. I love the sensation of this one. And then your sun armor. This is moisturizer and SPF, no tint at all. It is a rich, thick emollient. There's a lot of peptides in here. We're getting some great anti-aging, and it's an SPF of 50. You have zinc oxide, but you also have titanium dioxide in this one. And then here are the benefits to this Protect Skin Health. Let's get into our pro products. So prepping the skin, we need to make sure that when we're prepping the skin, we're using a product that makes the most sense for that skin type. So here, degreasing, we have our DermaQuest solution. This is going to be our most gentle of our prepping solutions. And then you have the DermaPrime, which is going to be the most universal. You're going to use this for almost all skin types. It does have 1% salicylic acid, and that's going to allow for better product penetration, whereas the DermaQuest solution does not have salicylic acid, hence it being better for a more sensitive or reactive skin type because it's going to leave a little bit of a film on the surface of the skin, making sure everything else just penetrates slower. Whereas the DermaPrime has that salicylic acid, we're getting products as deeper into the skin than we are with the DermaQuest solution for sure. The post-treatment is going to be the advanced neutralizing solution. If you have a product that needs to be neutralized, you need to be using that. Here are our masks and accessories. This combination, the firming enzyme activator with the firming enzyme powder, is called the firming enzyme treatment. It's a mouthful. So in the same bowl, in a treatment, you could mix the 2 of these together. So you're going to mix the firming enzyme activator, the firming enzyme powder. It is 1 teaspoon of the firming enzyme activator and a 1/2 teaspoon of the firming enzyme powder. I like to mix them with a fan brush. It gives you a little bit more of like a whipped egg sensation. No, it's not meringue, but it's like a whipped egg. I don't know how to, it's like a, I don't know how to explain it besides that. But that's the texture of it. It has 12% peptides between these two products. Apply it to the skin, let it firm up, it dry out essentially. If you want to do that, and it'll dry on the skin, your guests will be able to feel it. They really like that sensation. Or if you don't want that, you can leave steam and then it'll go ahead and it'll stay hydrated and moist, but it's still giving you the same great results. Now, you can add to this in the same bowl. You can add the mini pumpkin mask and just give it a little bit more of that enzymatic exfoliation. You're still getting the anti-aging, but now it's going to be a little bit more exfoliating. And then in the same treatment, not in the same bowl, you could do the firming enzyme treatment. And then also the power peptide peel. We'll talk about that in just a second. That combination of that much peptides, that's like my go-to glow and go treatment. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here we have our resurfacers. We're starting off with the lactic acid resurfacer. This is for your very gentle, very mild. Somebody just needs a good chemical exfoliation, but not something crazy. That's really a great way to go. The primary pumpkin, the power pumpkin, I love these two. I think every back bar should have them. They are going to help with anything that a vitamin A would help with. There's no vitamin A in here, but it is a vitamin A derivative. The pumpkin is a natural vitamin A derivative. So it's going to help with hyperpigmentation, breakout prone skin, lines and wrinkles in the skin. I just think it's, and then it's going to give you a beautiful glow. I just think it's great for anybody. Make sure they can handle the primary pumpkin before they move on to the power pumpkin, because the power pumpkin is quite a bit stronger than the primary pumpkin. We want to make sure their skin can handle it. Then we're going to get into the self-neutralizing peels. Now, all of these, both the resurfacers and the non-self-neutralizing peels, these are all 1 to 3 days of downtime. They all must be neutralized and they're all time dependent. So you're going to do one pass for a maximum of 10 minutes. The Power Peptide Peel, so that's what I was talking about earlier. I love that as my glow and go event ready treatment. I think it's amazing. I like in the same treatment to mix that with the firming enzyme treatment, which is going to be a mask. This will be the exfoliation. I always do the mask first and then the exfoliation, just because I don't want to put anything after I apply the exfoliation itself. Glycolic acid, I'm a huge fan of glycolic acid. Not everyone is. I tend to see that people that are a little bit more on the dry or sensitized side don't like glycolic acid. It is a very small molecule. It's going to get deeper into the skin, possibly than intended, especially when you have a drier skin type. It is very much tingly, stingly. So if you have that person, they're like, ooh, I want to feel it. I'm always going to go with something that has glycolic acid. This is just a great way to go for them because then they can really feel the sensation. They're also getting beautiful results. Again, make sure they can use the 30 before they go to the 40. This 40 also is not, it is only intended for Fitzpatrick's 1 through 3. And I'm just now noticing it does not say that on here. I'm going to have to add that in. So that everybody is aware. But the glycolic acid 40 is only intended, again, for Fitzpatrick's 1 through 3, not intended for Fitzpatrick's 4 through 6. Then we have our self-neutralizing peels. So these are 7 to 10 days of downtime, and these are pass dependent. So rather than one pass for up to 10 minutes, you're going to do 3 passes, and you have to wait 5 minutes after each application because we want to make sure that we're checking in on the skin. And then 2, it needs to self-neutralize it. We need to give it a little bit of time to do that. Give me a second. Sorry, I was getting a little thirsty there. These are also 7 to 10 days of downtime, potentially, depending on which peel you're doing. These two are 7 to 10 days of downtime, definitely. So you have your Intelligent Jesner. This is going to be great for your breakout prone skin. I love this one. It's a great skin reset. Usually you're going to see nice big flakes of skin. Make sure you tell them that, make sure that they're aware of that and that they're going to be comfortable dealing with that. Have them cut off the dead skin cells, if they're noticing it, if they need to. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. And then you have the chloroacetic acid. So Intelligent Jesner, I think it's great for more oily, acneic, breakout prone skin. Your chloroacetic acid is great for aging skin. It's also a skin reset. You're going to see some shedding. I love this one. I think it's great. There's good. Usually they're shedding. Have them cut off the dead skin cells. Make sure they're not doing anything silly afterwards. Boost Skin Health. Let's talk about these two products. So we saw the MelaQuest in prepping. We're seeing it again in boosting. Let's talk about that. So right under where it says product summary under the MelaQuest, you're going to see it says prepping and then MelaQuest solution boosting. So you can use it as either one. For boosting, we are using this to help ensure against hyperpigmentation. So post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And yes, inflammatory from a peel. That's a thing. It's not just from a breakout. We want to make sure that we're not hyperpigmenting that skin. And so applying this will help just a little bit of insurance to make sure that that's not an issue. And then the retinol solution, if your guest is interested in shedding, if they want that nice even peel, I'm going to apply the retinol solution. Each one of these, as a booster, you're using one pass, nice and evenly distributed on the surface of the skin. And you don't have to apply any pressure. It's already going to go where it needs to. We don't need to push it into the skin. The retinol is going to cause even shedding. So if your guest is not interested in that, that is not going to be the product for them. But if they are, yes, I am, please. I love a good retinol solution. And then finishing products, we have our B5. Oops, we have our B5, our Advanced Stem Cell Rebuilding Complex. We also have our Essential Moisturizer. And then we also have our Sheer Zinc. So let's get into the total health system. So here's our chloroacetic acid. This is a chloroacetic acid peel, and then an example of what your home care could be. Now, the chloroacetic acid peel protocol, let's talk about that just a little bit because all of the protocols are going to look the same. You're just switching out product, but the steps are going to be the same. You're always going to do your double cleanse. Then you're going to use your prepping solution, whichever one is most appropriate for the skin. Chloroacetic acid here, we went with salicylic acid prepping solution. Then you're going to do your post-treatment cream, and that's to protect the inner corners of the eyes, around the nostrils, and then on the lips. You're then going to apply your treatment product. So up to 3 passes with 5 minutes after each pass. Let's say they do 1 pass, their skin's on fire. We're done now. There's no need to do another pass. Let's say we do 2 passes and their skin looks great and they're like, I don't feel anything, and their skin doesn't look like it's hot pink. I'm going to do a 3rd pass. MelaQuest solution, and that's again to ensure against hyperpigmenting. You have your retinol solution because this person wants to peel, and I love it. Then you're going to do your finishing solution. Anytime you're doing MelaQuest solution, my suggestion is only to do sheer zinc afterwards so that we're not putting too much product on and trapping heat into the skin, and then send them home. Send them home with the post-treatment home care. They need that to be able to recover for the next 7 to 10 days. Now, what you're seeing on the right-hand side are home care products, skincare products that we would suggest for them to use at home. Now, are they going to go home with all of these? Probably not, but we want to make sure that you are equipped and ready to be able to suggest any product. Let's say they say, hey, I would like to know what moisturizer I should use. That's the moisturizer. It's number 8 there. You're going to see it. It's the Advanced 3D Moisturizing Complex. If they need a serum, we're going to go with the line corrector. If they need a hydrator, usually we're going to go with a hydroform. If they need a cleanser, an SPF, you can choose what's going to be best for them. And then you can change it also. Let's say they're coming in for the chloroacetic acid, but they are also dealing with, which is great for anti-aging. But notice on the chloroacetic acid, on the right side, sorry, next to the actual picture of the bottle, the image of that bottle, you have 3 icons. It's MelaQuest Skin Health, Collagen Skin Health, and then your Clear Skin Health also. If somebody's coming in for the chloroacetic acid peel and their main, the primary focus is going to be collagen skin health, but they also have some hyperpigmentation, we can switch out one of these products so that they can have some hyperpigmentation or products that will help with the hyperpigmentation, or we can add in a product. Let's say they want to go home with 2 serums, line corrector and advanced MelaQuest serum, my apologies, would be a great combination for this guest. So, you can pick and choose, you can edit if you need to, but here's a good base starting point for them. This person had chloroacetic acid. She also had laser done, but her peel was the chloroacetic acid peel. And then obviously home care that went along with that. Then you have the Intelligent Jesner. Remember, this is going to be great for people who have breakout prone skin. Same setup on the right as far as the protocol goes. It's going to be that double cleanse, your prepping solution, your post-treatment cream to protect the eyes, nostrils, and lips. Then you're going to do your actual product, your peel product, treatment product, your DermaQuest solution, retinol solution, finishing product, whatever that might be. In this case, it is shear zinc, and then send them home with that post-treatment kit. Then on the right, we have our potential home care. So what are they needing at home and how do we help them continue that transformation? We started it in the treatment room. We need to continue that at home. Before and after, yeah, this looks so good for the Jesner. She had LED in addition to her peels. Primary pumpkin. Now, this is a resurfacer, so a little bit different. You're going to do your double cleanse. You're going to prep the skin with your prepping solution. You're going to apply your post-treatment cream to help protect the sensitive areas of the skin. You're then going to apply your treatment product. So here, primary pumpkin's resurfacer. Obviously, you're going to leave it on for a maximum of 10 minutes. You then need to remove that product, and then you can neutralize. Once you neutralize, you can apply your finishing product, and that's where you're going to see the B5, the stem cell rebuilding complex, the essential moisturizer, and the shear zinc. If we want to enhance that, so if they are interested in having a little bit of a shed, instead of doing the finishing product, after you neutralize this, you can do DermaQuest solution, retinol solution, and then shear zinc. Send them home with their post-treatment care kit. They need it. And then you have your options for home care here on the right. Look at, and she, I think, was LED light as well. But it did take her a little bit longer because we did she didn't want to do the full peel. She wanted to do the resurfacer where she wouldn't have, 7 to 10 days of downtime. It took her a little bit longer, but look at these beautiful results. In addition to home care, stunning. Power peptide peel, before and after. I love this one. This woman also had not done a lot with her skin prior to her coming in. She did have the power peptide peel and microneedling, so we were able to combine those two modalities, which is fantastic. Look at the difference in that line. And then the DermaQuest Skin Health System by product type. So what you're seeing highlighted in black here are your opening order must-haves. This is when we're talking about when you're opening an order with us, when you're starting off, this is what we would suggest. Yes, we can change it based on the demographic that you have, or, who are you seeing? What are you treating on a regular basis? What are your guests' main concerns? Yes, we can change those things around, but what's highlighted in the black are the must-haves for an opening order, typically. So here's all the cleansers. Choose what's going to be make the most sense in your space. Here are exfoliants. The Glyco Resurfacing Cleanser, one of my favorites. The Universal Pads, absolutely phenomenal. There's such a multi-use there. Masks and spot treatments. This Sea Infusion mask, by the way, can also be used as a sleeping mask. I love it. The Mini Pumpkin, it's a great active mask. Hydrators. Choose the hydrator that makes the most sense, again, for your demographic in your space, in your clinic. Serums, all of the serums are phenomenal, and that's where your guests are going to see the most transformation. They have the highest percentage of active ingredients. They also have the smallest molecules typically. With that being said, serums are where you're going to see the most impact, the most transformation for that guest and their skin at home. Sending them home and not sending them home with a serum is where some of us, I think, are struggling a little bit. We don't, they may not want to go home with this. They absolutely want to go home with the serum. That's where you're going to see the highest return on their investment. They want to see that. Eye and lip, that 3D peptide eye lift is phenomenal. They're definitely going to notice a difference after continued use. The retinol, so here we have our retinoids. Now, if you have that person that if you have a group of people that are super, super sensitive, go ahead and switch one of these out or add into this the 0.05. If you have a lot of people dealing with hyperpigmentation, add into this the retinol radiance. Just make sure we're stepping up to that so that their skin can handle it. Moisturizer, choose what's going to be most efficient for your clinic. I deal with a lot of hyperpigmentation, so I'm going to want some of that DermaQuest in there. Shears Ink for the SPF. If you have somebody who wants moisturizer, SPF, tint in one, add in that 3D tinted. If you have people that need a little bit higher of an SPF because you're in a place where everybody's outdoors, I like a higher SPF when I'm doing what I call intentional sun, so I know that I'm going to be out in out in the sun. I usually like my SPF 50 then. Prepping solution, same thing. So this is what we're suggesting for back bar. Your post-treatment, everyone needs the neutralizing solution. Here are the masks and accessories that do really, really well. Resurfacer, everyone can use a lactic acid. It is such a great one. And then for the non-self-neutralizing, love, love, love that power peptide. I'm also a huge fan of glycolic acid, but maybe that's just me. And then for the self-neutralizing, that Jesner, the salicylic acid, you're really getting some beautiful results of the skin. Both boosts, both boosters, because I think that they are important. And then sheer zinc is a must-have. We also have our post-treatment kit. Now, let me show you how to place this order. This is what your order form is going to look like. So when you sign up with us, you're going to see this. And notice with retail, we're usually going to suggest 3 of each. Depending on how many guests you have a month, a week, whatever that looks like for you, you want to make sure you have enough product for them to be able to actually go home with that. So you usually are going to suggest 3 of each for retail. So this is the whole lineup, all divided um, by skin concern. And then you have your professional products down here. You only need 1 of each for all of these. And this is a really great starting off point. And then this is a $3,700 opening order. Not too bad for your opening order. Let me go to and then let me show you how to place that order on the website. Move this over so I can see. So you're going to go over here. You notice my arrow is on the little person icon. So that's the account icon. You're going to go to partner ordering. Click on that button. What have we got? Oh, our fan brushes are out of stock. That's okay. So you have all of these options here. You can filter, you can put a product name in. So let's say I want the retinol solution. I can type that here, click on this. Here is my retinol solution. Everything is loading. This is the back bar wholesale price. You're going to add this to your cart. I'm going to go back. Let's say I need to purchase some retail products. Shop all products. We have samples, testers. I wanted to show you. Okay, so here's the 0.05 retinol. What you're seeing here is the retail price. I'm sorry, is the wholesale price. Add to cart. You can see that loading. Oh gosh, I'm going to hit this. And now you can see what's in my cart. There's obviously more than just that. So just as FYI, I was going to say you're going to be able to see everything. So there's more than just those couple of things in there. And that is, I believe, that's everything. Oh, so you always want to make sure that you're sending your guest home with tell them what to use, when to use it. Sometimes they can get a little confusing. It can get a little confusing, especially if they're going home with a lot of product or if they already have product at home. We want to make sure that we're integrating things the way that they're supposed to be. And again, do not forget what we're doing in the treatment room. That is 20% of their skin health journey. The other 80%, that transformation, that happens at home. So we want to make sure that we're sending them home, setting them up for success, getting them ready for their next treatment as much as we can. And that is all. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That is all. That's everything I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I so appreciate all of your time. I know you guys spend the time with me, and it's just there's so much to go over and there's so much to do. And I love that you guys are choosing to spend your time, get to know DermaQuest a little bit better, getting to educate yourself a little bit more on who we are, what we have, how we can help you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and we will see you at the next education. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.